Thank you, Dr. Nupur, for the kindest introduction. At the outset, I want to thank the entire team of YOSI for the back-to-back fabulous sessions over a period of these days, including this one, and for giving this wonderful opportunity. So why clinical research? Clinical research, like everything else, is a skill that can be acquired and should be acquired well in advance for a more impactful academic career. Like most of us, when I was in my residency, I had this notion of having a good resume during my initial days. But since the time I have shifted my focus on skill development, I can tell you that the resume has actually become better. So focus on building skills and not your resume. I want to emphasize two things that clinical research, which is meaningful, always takes time. For example, these two publications came out 1 year later than the idea. There was a rare case of an adult rhabdomyosarcoma, and I wanted to report that. And I asked my oncology mentor, Dr. Swati, and she said that instead of that, what if we actually pull out the data and also write a review article? So, meaningful research always takes time, and scientific credibility only comes when you are very thorough with your work. So, now let me walk you through a few lessons I learned during my residency, which can help you to start early on. So, first is to think big but start small. Every case that you see in your OPD is a hidden gem and tells you a unique story. Just discuss with your peers, your seniors, what's interesting and what's rare about this case. Be opportunistic. When I was in my residency, my senior resident told me about this PubMed index book, Stat Pulse, which entertains review articles, and I can tell you that it has helped me a lot to improve my academic writing. Documentation is the key. Be very meticulous in documenting everything because you never know what becomes useful when. My mentor in fellowship gave me this IOL analogy that before doing a cataract surgery, we always do an A scan for the IOL power. And similarly, before touching any patient, you should document the photographs and everything about that patient well in advance. Then there are journals who actually ask for your raw data and statistical analysis like ophthalmology during the review process. So in my residency, we realized that we had an interesting case and also had a very good documentation, which went on to become my first case report that was published. Also, take your thesis very seriously, even when others are not. By that, I mean that thesis helps you understand how to calculate your sample size. You build a very strong base of knowledge about that topic. It also helps you form a research protocol, and also you build a rapport with your biostatistician, which can help you later on in your life. So my thesis was on thyroid eye disease. I did not go on to publish my thesis, but we observed that we had a very high load of non-inflammatory disease, which was not known at that time, and that actually became a letter to editor. Build a very strong foundation early in your residency. And by that, I mean that literature review should be conducted very thoroughly because that is the heart and soul of your research. Know the A to Z of your topic because only then you will get to know about the gaps and controversies that exist in the literature. Always stay inquisitive, keep asking questions and getting the answers. And if you don't get the answer, then you can find out the answer on your own. Also, call for help, as in always discuss with your colleagues, your junior, your seniors, your faculty, reach out to them, contribute to an already existing research project because teamwork makes the dream work. Now, this is a myth that research can only happen in big academic institutes. That's not true. And with that, I want to give the example of the undisputed leader in dacryology, Professor Dr. Mohammad Javed Ali. He once told his fellows that it took him 1 year to study the electron microscopy of the lacrimal drainage system because nobody knew what electron microscopy of the lacrimal apparatus looked like. So it took him 1 year to get access to the electron microscope. Then he went on to study the electron microscopy of the entire GI system of the human body. And then he defined the electron microscopic features of the lacrimal drainage system. Uh, to conclude, I would just say that all you need is a research mindset and not a big institute for carrying out meaningful research. Then choose your mentor. So Professor Ruchi Goel ma'am was actually not my thesis guide, but she was my co-guide, but I still call her my research mentor in residency. So find a mentor who is academically and research oriented with a good track record and is willing to guide you and is personally interested and invested in your growth. if you don't get a mentor who's going to be there for a long term, you can seek multiple mentors for different aspects of research. Connect with potential mentors at research meetings and conferences like this. And lastly, always be committed to finish what you started. There is no point in taking up multiple research projects and not really finishing them. So finish them and finish them strong. What can help you is maintain a research journal of whatever research projects you're working on, and also follow up with your mentors regularly. I'm sure nobody minds that. So make sure that you finish your research projects that you take up in your residency. With this, thank you so much. I'll be happy to take up any questions.
I hope you can tell them more about any research skills training workshops that many organizations have started organizing for upliftment of their skills.
So in my residency, I took up the Saint Gupta's Research Academy course. That was one. And in my fellowship, there is an online global clinical research training program by Harvard Medical School, which is certified. So you can go for that one.
And apart from that, smaller courses which are not paid are also available. Small workshops are being organized by Young Ophthalmology Society of India. And a research methodology workshop was also conducted in collaboration with AIOS. Prior Natarajan sir used to do it, if I remember correctly. But even smaller workshops are there. YOSI itself has organized, so those of you interested should definitely try to attend it.
So thank you, Dr. Ayushi. Any other comments from any other panelists? Yeah.
I think there is no shortcut. You have to do the midnight oil burn to do it. But I would also say that it is not mandatory to do research. If you have a research mindset, if you want to do it, then do it. But it should not be a compulsion.
I think I would give it to Dr. Ayushi. We would have connected long back during 2018-19 when we just started Flash Notes. So even doing a very small thing, that actually helps you to go a very long way. So it's not like always research. Yeah, because I would give you that because I have, and she was a part of a lot of other academic things. So apart from, as you are saying, you have a very heavy, yeah. So it is what it is. Like, I mean, you have to be, yeah, yeah.
So I think the
Please don't
message
become.
that's going across is that what we discussed in the beginning, that the habits you form during residency carry forward. So developing the research attitude is probably one of the good habits you must develop during residency, and then you can hone it up later. Okay, so that is, I mean, Ayushi said it's not mandatory to do it, but then think of it as whenever there's an option to do something, that always comes as a back burner. You would probably choose not to do it, but take it like this, it's not an option, because in the coming years this is going to be the way, this is how you're going to stand out. Okay, and I'm sure that it matters in all your appraisals, wherever you're working. um, and even your patients, they google you how many research papers you've had. They do that even where I'm working in an institute which is semi academically oriented. They said outside, oh, you've had papers on thyroid eye disease, or you've had papers on that. So that is the new normal, which is the thing. So don't keep it as an option, develop that research attitude. Don't keep it as an option.
And I would like to add that you said motivation. More than that, it should be discipline. Like how we go to work every day, we should like dedicate the time to research.